If you can hear me in the chat, press 1. Grinding. All I do is grinding. Fucking hell, dude. You know. So you guys can hear me. Awesome. Feedback can be fun. All right, I got one more song, and then we gonna run this shit. This one goes out to all the exes. Let's do it this way. And I'm not back yet, you guys. I'm still in Vegas. I'm just trying to get the stream in for you guys and get some of these. Well, I'll explain. I will explain. No worries. So this song goes out to all the motherfucking exes.
I've been waiting for that text back, yeah. I know that you ain't sending that, yeah. But I've been waiting by my phone for days, just waiting. By my phone for days, just praying that you would tell me it's okay again. That you would tell me it's the same again, yeah. And I hate just what this came to, but I really couldn't blame you. Lost you, now I feel lost. Ain't nobody but my fault. Now I'm dumb and it's blunt, yeah. Stressed out, I can't front, yeah. Look what you're doing to me. Look what you're doing to me. I know you're just finding yourself, and it's who you're choosing to be, yeah. But don't forget the things we shared. I wanna know how you feel when I'm not there. Yeah, when I'm not there. I've been waiting for that. I've been waiting for that text back, yeah. I know that you ain't sending that, yeah. But I've been waiting by my phone for days, just waiting. By my phone for days, just praying that you would tell me it's okay again. That you would tell me it's the same again, yeah. And I hate just what this came to, but I really couldn't blame you. Yeah, blame me, I'll be right here waiting. Blame me, I'll be right here waiting.
The West Coast, just another one. Another one, cat on the beat, just another one. My nigga, yeah. Just another one. Another nigga wrong to play. What you say?
I tell them, slow down. No, you can't catch me. I move too fast on the gas, don't chase me. Slow down. Slow down. I tell them, slow down. You know you can't catch me. I move too fast on the gas, don't chase me. Slow down. Slow down. I tell them, I'm on the case getting sideways. $4.45 on the highway. You know a nigga state to state. On a dolo mission, I got a date with the cake. Wide awoke, 3 a.m. Probably touch down when the sun come in. When them guards hit the gate, I'll be tired as fuck after that 8-hour race. I come from the land where we swing our cars. Figure 8 dance, concretely Mars. Call it pain, supercharged. Back-to-back race the Benz with the photo Porsche. I'm tearing up ties in this luxury. Hella smoke till she wanna fuck with me. Money on my mind, ain't nothing for free. Trying to keep up with me, but it's nothing to me. I tell them, slow down. Yeah. No, you can't catch me. I move too fast on the gas, don't chase me. Slow down.
Good money.
Slow down. I tell them, slow down. You know you can't catch me. I move too fast on the gas, don't chase me. Slow down. You know you can't catch me. Slow down.
Yeah,
I tell them,
slow down. You know you can't catch me. Hype without fugitive. Straight Wesley. Boys get on me, try to test me, arrest me. Wet in a motherfucker, whip like a Destiny. Ride like Presley, pills like Graceland. They wanna ship me to read it and off to reception. Nah, ain't trying to see the state pen. I'm black scaled out in my Ray-Ban. Diamond certified, I ain't never lied. I ain't had L since Pac died. Riding through the vitals, couple bundles talking about sliders. Learn from the lifers, mine still swift. FedEx movement, all on the pitch. Out with the stash spot, Cassie too swift. No front, push a button, give a nigga that. Yeah.
slow down. No, you can't catch me. I move too fast on the gas, don't chase me. Slow down. Slow down. I tell them, slow down. You know you can't catch me. I move too fast on the gas, don't chase me. Slow down.
Let me hold on right quick, Pasha. This time I'm off, nigga. I'm Jeff Gordon in his heyday. Riding like Tony Stewart, stretching through a two-way. Doing about 100, kinda blending up the Louis. Louis 13th, motherfucker, yeah, Louis. DUI, driving black Kenny on my lap. Pedal to the floor with an 808 clap. Money motivated, doing sprints when I'm chasing it. It gotta be a Hemi, I don't normally do the basic. 6-cylinder, really, bro? Slow it down. Keep up, hit me killing ya. Hope I'm not offending ya. See you at the finish line, leaving them. Burn rubber, burn rubber. This is how we do it when I'm dipping on the corner. Burn rubber, burn rubber. This is how we do it in Northern California.
Slow down. No, you can't catch me. I move too fast on the gas, don't chase me. Slow down. Slow down. I tell them, slow down. You know you can't catch me. I move too fast on the gas, don't chase me. Slow down. You know you can't catch me. Slow down. You know you can't catch me. I tell them.
What's up, YouTube? It's me, the Artisan MC. And if you can hear me clearly, get a 1 so we can get this shit rolling. I see, yeah, black and yellow, black and yellow. So what's up, you guys? Thank you for, if you were bearing with me through the rest of the unfortunate streaming issues for the day. I did get some peace today, and then I got more irritation because I took too many pictures and videos and panoramics. So I fucking stuffed my memory card on my phone. So as you already know, my phone memory was already backed up ridiculously, which is why I had the big memory card in it, and I filled that up too, which I didn't think was possible in that short of a time. So I don't have any space to take any more video, to take any more pictures. So when I want to roll down the strip and take some shots, I can't take any fucking pictures. I got to go through and delete pictures before I do that. But I also need to do the stream before I do that. So thank you guys for coming through. Like, share, subscribe, support the stream if you feel so inclined. I am a little tired, a little peckish, but should have got some alcohol before I came back here. But I did not. So all I have is water with a little bit of libation for my throat. Goddamn water, man. Goddamn water. Y'all never gave me a 1 if you could hear me, so apparently I'm just talking and you can't hear a goddamn thing. Because ain't nobody saying shit. That's annoying as fuck. So I cannot listen to my stream at the same time I'm doing it. So a little feedback for you guys is helpful. Thank you, Mad Villainy, for responding in the chat. Yeah, engagement is key. So, what did I do today? What I did today was what I would consider a spiritual recharge. And it sounds funny. It may sound funny to you, but this is the California in me. Letting you know how I see things. And yeah, you did earlier. I'm listening, but it was delayed. So I had made a connection change because you guys didn't respond. So I didn't know if you heard it before I made the connection change or after I made the connection change. That's why response needs to be quick. Okay. Pissed me off I couldn't send these pictures to my kids. Let them know Dad is okay because the pictures would not fucking send. So, like I said, last part of the trip was a bit irritating because it's all technical shit, and I hate technical stuff not working correctly. It just pisses me off. Pisses me off to no end. What up, Rainfire? He said, enjoy your trip. I finally got out of the house yesterday. Went to the Holoe Festival. I think I still have dye in some places. I bet you do. But better dye than glitter, because glitter never leave you. I don't think you ever get rid of fucking glitter. I don't think you ever do. Somebody will look at you and say, why are you sparkling? What are you talking about? That was 2 months ago. The dye you can wash off. The fucking glitter never fucking comes off. Never. Video good, audio acceptable. Let's go. Thank you, Aquatechie. That's all I want. I just want decent fucking streaming quality and good audio. I mean, fucking hell. Bane of any fucking YouTuber's existence. I mean, the lighting I can actually control. I just don't want glitter is forever. The lighting I can control, but I don't need a super Negro, slave Negro sheen on my face. So I turned it down a bit because this LED light does not do different colors, and I like the colors to match my fucking mood. And this one doesn't do that. So it is whatever. And yes, Mad Villainy, glitter is forever. Glitter is forever. All right, so what do we got going on today? I came down for my little spiritual recharge. You know, as I told you guys, I went to Guano Point. And Guano Point is western part of the Grand Canyon in Arizona. So I drove from California to Las Vegas, and from Las Vegas into Arizona to the Grand Canyon to go to Guano Point and stand on the top of that mesa and sit there and listen to the wind and feel the sun and feel the vibe of all the people that are probably have been there before me, not these goofy ass, modern folks, but Native Americans or whatever that were there before me and probably praying to their ancestors and gods and all the rest of that stuff and trying to connect with that in some sense. My family is even back to slave times, deep in Arizona, my mother's side. So first time I went there, I felt the connection to it. I really did feel a connection to it very strongly. And in the last couple of months, I've seen it in my dreams. I've seen that place in my dreams, and when I thought about peaceful places, that always came to the surface. So, yeah, bat poop. Yeah, bat poop. Yep, bat poop. You know what they make Bacardi out of. Yeah. So, the place used to be a mine. It used to be a mine. And there was a trolley that went from the top of the point all the way down into this mine that had bats and stuff like that in it. Right. So that's why they called it Guano Point. There was a bat cave over there. Funny, right? There was a bat cave and a geek went to the bat cave. I don't remember what they used to get out of there, but it shut down, I think, back in the 30s or something like that. They closed it down. And it stayed there. And since that part became like reservation land or Native American land, turned it into a tourist attraction. Built a little skywalk out there where you could walk out on the little glass bottom bridge and see over into the canyon, and called it a day. And roped it off and make you pay to come in there and see that shit. So I don't have a problem with that. I mean, I came there, dropped my $60 for the general admission, and spent another 20 or so on stuff with the Halapui Indians. I don't give a shit. I like that they get their money back out of these motherfuckers. I really do. Gives me hope that one day black folks will get they actually do back. Because I don't have no smoke for Native Americans. I have Native Americans in my family, so I have no smoke for them. I have respect for them. It's like BGS will tell you, you want to see what damn near total eradication of a race looks like. You look at the Native Americans, and you'll see how that shit can go when they really try to eliminate your asses. What do you say? Rainfire, the glitter lotion messed up a lot of dudes' side action. Yes. Yo, Friday night, let me hang out with the boys and go down to the sports bar with the strippers and then come home with unbeknownst glitter on your ass. Not cool, especially if it's all on your lap, nigga. Why you got all this? Why you sparkling? What the hell are you talking about, girl? I just came from work. You got glitter all over your lap. Ah, shit, I do, don't I? Don't tell me Ray and them was out there twerking on your lap. It's only funny because some of that shit is true. So I went there, went to Guano Point, climbed up to the top of the mesa like I did before. And the only problem is fucking tourists, rude ass tourists. Aquatechi's stupid. Glitter has a half life of 5,000 years. Yeah, it'll be here long after we gone. It'll still be sparkling, nigga. Still shining. You know, there's enough of it gathered in one spot, they'll think it was a natural mineral. What killed the dinosaurs? I think it was glitter. I think it was the sparkly stuff. Maybe they killed each other over it because it was so valuable. So I got to the point, got up to the top, and then this fucking Bizach, I think she was, I don't want to say she was Polish. She wasn't Polish. She's something else, like some French or some bullshit. Her good goofy ass, because I saw them, this whole family, in the souvenir spot where you buy your tickets for, go to the different spots. And they were in front of me at the cashier and just wasted all kinds of fucking time. And then tried to cut back in front of me after I'm standing there patiently waiting to pay for my shit and get on my bus. But, they want to make believe that they don't see me standing right there. And the wife with her patent leather, redded out, burnt skin, like, maybe they were, I don't know. I don't even think they were Brazilian. I know some Brazilians. They don't strike me as Brazilians, but they were speaking like a Spanish. So I don't know what the fuck their issue was. But by the time I got, great, I can't even open Cash App. By the time I got up to the top of the point, they came up the other side, and then they just wanted to just hang out up there forever. So I sat up at the top of the point waiting for, my little turn to stand on these 3 blocks that you can stand on at the very top of this thing to take my pictures of the whole valley, the whole canyon and whatnot. And these motherfuckers sat up there for 20 minutes. So other people up on this mound, but they just decided to sit there for a while. They just decided to hang out. They didn't leave. So I was sitting there. I was waiting. And they just sat there. And it was getting on my fucking nerves. So I finally just got up there and started taking my pictures. And then it was a group of some British chicks that obviously young, maybe 20s. There's something about vapid females that just fucking drains me. It just infuriates me. All this talking. This is how stupid this shit is. These 4 dumb bitches, I'm serious, dumb bitches, are standing at the top of a mesa. And the top of this peak is about 20 foot square, but it's a bunch of big boulders sitting up there. It's just a rock hill, right? Big ass boulders, flat on the top. These motherfuckers standing up there, one of these bitches is scared. She want a picture, but she's scared. And I'm like, scared of fucking what? What are you going to do? Roll halfway down the hill? Fall off that block onto the other one? The fuck is... Would y'all take a picture and move? Fucking hell, that shit was so annoying. She's standing on the block as big. I'm serious. If you stand up, put both of your feet together, and think about 4 foot to the left of you, 4 foot to the right of you, 4 foot in front of you, 4 foot behind you. This bitch tiptoe. I'm scared. Man, if you don't fucking move, I'm going to push you off of this bitch. I will push you down this goddamn hill. I was irritated, dude. I was past irritated. And it was chicks with people being irritating. And what that usually means is chicks are trying to get your attention. I'm there solo dolo. So I can see them looking around and trying to figure out who I'm with. And the funny part happened when I was on the bus coming to this shit. which I thought was kind of interesting. But they're trying to figure out who I'm with, and I'm with nobody. There was only one other stray female there. I'm just there. They're trying to figure out who I'm with, and since they don't see that I'm with anybody, they keep trying to get my attention by being fucking annoying. I just want them to move the fuck out the way so I can take my picture, step down, and let everybody else take their pictures. Because everybody wants to climb up to the top, take their pictures, get their deal, and move on, right? They ain't trying to hang out and have a fucking lunch up there. They're not. By the time you get up there, you're kind of winded. Nigga. You need to sit down for a minute like, shit. This is nice. Woo, that climb down gonna be a motherfucker. Like, so, and it's not that bad. It's just it's steep, right? But they're irritating me. So after a point, I just went ahead and I climbed down a little bit. After I got up there and just took my pictures, like fuck y'all, and did my panoramics and everything. They're not good pictures. They're not the best pictures I could have got. It's not even the poses that I wanted to get. But that's my fault for going fucking solo, right? Because I wasn't asking all these irritating people, hold my camera and take this picture. I didn't do that shit. Fuck it. So I worked my way a little bit down the peak, and I found a rock, and I just sat on the rock. And I'm sitting on the rock looking out at the canyon, right? Colorado River and stuff like that. If you're on Instagram, you see some of the pictures and the scenes that I'm talking about, right? So what do these motherfuckers do? They just start hanging out behind me, loud as fuck. And what are they doing? Trying to encroach on where I'm sitting to come down there. Because I don't know if they know this or not, but white folks have a thing that they do. They talk out loud about everything. And it's usually indication that they want what you got. They're waiting for saying it out loud to spur you into fucking moving or something like that. And that's what they were doing. And it was annoying the shit out of me. And I was still sitting there. Like, look, motherfucker, nobody was sitting over here. Nobody was sitting on this block. There's a fucking boulder hanging out the side of a fucking mountain. Nobody was thinking about this shit because nobody was over here. I went over here, sat my ass down, copped a squat, and just started looking. And then y'all, what are you doing over there? Oh, yeah, that's a nice shot. Yeah, we need to get down there and get that. I got bitches, goofy dudes. They was fucking up my piece. They were fucking up my piece, for real. They were fucking up my piece. I really had to sit there and just really do a Dr. T moment and meditate. Like, these motherfuckers don't exist. They died years ago. and their bodies blew away in this beautiful wind. And then it was quiet here. It was quiet like it should be here in the canyon. That's what I had to do. That's exactly what the fuck I had to do. Just block them out, pretend they was, dead. So I can have, 30 minutes of fucking peace sitting up here that I came all this way to do. Now, it could just be my fault being a bitch because I came to a tourist spot, but it's not spring. It ain't spring break. It ain't winter break. It ain't summertime, nothing. I didn't think it'd be that many goddamn people there. But because I got started kind of late, there were many motherfuckers there. See that? That's the peak. Not overly anything, right? That's the peak. Many motherfuckers was standing up there. That was a picture when I was leaving because everybody wanted to crowd up there. I'm like, God damn it, dude. Just move. Snap your shot. Step the fuck on. So that's the peak behind me. And that's the goofy bitches standing behind me trying to take pictures. Anyway. So, there you go. See that shit? See that shit? Beautiful. totally broken up by a bunch of vapid ass bitches babbling about what they're afraid of and trying to get a good glamour shot. Totally lost on their goofy asses. Fucking hell. The dumbest fucking shit could be. Dumbest shit it could be. And that's why I call it vapid. If you don't know what vapid meant, once I said it, it percolated through YouTube. I guess everybody doesn't use a thesaurus too often, but once I said it, motherfuckers was using it very often. Because I guess they went ahead and looked it up. Here, let's see. See that shit? That's peace. That's peace and quiet. That's how you get in touch with your ancestors, your spirits. Without alcohol or weed, right? I don't do weed anyway. That's what peace looks like. I need to screenshot that motherfucker if I can, if it'll let me. Oh, I got a screenshot. Holy cow. How did that happen? And here's another one, just so y'all know. While I was sitting there, I was bullshitting, entertaining myself, listening to these goofy motherfuckers, so I decided to crush the river. So that's the Colorado River coming from Nevada, so I'm sitting there crushing the damn river. Just trying to squeeze the bend, man. Just trying to squeeze the bend a little bit. So this was fun for me. Once I blocked them out and was able to just sit there and enjoy the peace for a minute, they left and or shut up regardless. I got to actually enjoy myself and really just take a moment, close my eyes, and just feel the sun and the wind on my face. To see something that's not overly developed, it's not a bunch of pavement all over the place, it's not a bunch of tall buildings. It is just a natural wonder. And to look at how long it's been there, how it actually came into being, and how long it will be there beyond any of us that came there and looked at it or didn't pay much attention to it at the time. And my friend texted me, my friend KT texted me, and I sent her one of the pictures, and she said, how did you feel being there? And I told her it wasn't that I felt small. It wasn't that I felt insignificant. But it made me understand that there are bigger things in the world. There are bigger things that are happening to be interested in, to be worried about, than just what some pink-toed chick said on her channel to some other little goofy round boy. Yeah, Rainfire, no. Shout out to the kids in the hall. Exactly, Rainfire. See, I told him time delayed out there. These are feelers to see who the cool ones are. This is how you find out who the elites. We throw that subtle, little note out there, see if they pick it up. Rainfire picked it up. Rainfire used to watch the kids in the hall. And a boot to the head for you too. So, what up, Two Trill? What up, Malika? So, I got to sit there, and I do this different places that I really, enjoy, and what I'll do when I was sitting on the rock, I just sat there, let my feet dangle, right? And just sat there, and I just closed my eyes. I just closed my eyes and meditating wise, focused on my breathing. In through my nose, out through my mouth, really slowly, and then just listen with my ears. And listened as far as I could hear. Any sound that I could hear, I kept focusing on it to see how far away it was. And then I concentrated on what I'm feeling on my body. Because as you know, your body is covered in hair. Your body is a big sensory organ, more or less. And it feels all this barometric pressure, all of that shit all the time. That's what makes Daredevil so cool, right? Because he just has the same shit, it's just turned up, right? So that's the same thing I'm doing. I'm feeling where the sun is hitting me on my face. I'm feeling which direction the wind is coming in, which way is blowing. Is it circling around? Is it in front of me? Is it behind me? I'm feeling all that. I'm listening to the irritating fucking people, how high up behind me they are. Who's this person over here taking pictures? You know, all of that shit. I'm listening to all of this and just taking it in, and then just one by one, like turning each one of those things off. To get to the point where all I'm listening to is the wind and the silence of that place. And how peaceful that is. Not to have to listen to any other stuff and get yourself centered in this moment and be present in the moment that I'm in. Not thinking about yesterday, not thinking about tomorrow, present in the moment that I'm in right now. Shout out to Miss Zemskova, my algebra teacher in college. Because that was her thing, be present. She's Russian. That was her thing, be present. And that's what I did. For about 30 minutes, I got to sit there and just be present. Not worried about rushing anywhere, not worried about no time frames, no schedules, none of that shit. I just got to sit there until I felt like I wanted to leave. And that's exactly what the fuck I did. Regardless of those irritations, I knew, which is life, those irritations were minor. And they would go away when I focused on things that were more important. And I brought it back to the context of YouTube, worrying about what somebody said on Pearl's panel, who got out, who's upset about what somebody else said on their own show. Petty little shit that don't fucking matter. Don't fucking matter at all to anything. It's not stopping anything from happening. It's just people bitching and trying to feel like they have some sense of control over something. Which the only control they have is the one they're not using, which is their fucking mouth and shutting the fuck up. So, it was nice. It was worth it. It was worth the trip. And I took solace in the fact that Thursday, I was not sure I was still going to go. Friday, I still wasn't sure. Then I finally decided by the time I was getting off work, like, I'm fucking going. I'm leaving right now. I'm going. And in my mind, I visualized exactly where I wanted to be and exactly what I wanted to do. And every hour from that point of decision led me to that moment today. And I did exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to be there in that spot, listening to the wind. And I was there. And that gave me a sense of pride and a sense of accomplishments. It wasn't an accomplishment about anybody else. It wasn't for anybody else's benefit. I tried to share it with you guys, but there is no cell signal right there. There is no cell signal at all. These motherfuckers was trying to update their Instagram and bring somebody's hotspot and all this other shit. And I'm like, just take your pictures and update it later. I mean, I was trying to live stream from there, but it's a good thing I didn't have a signal there because y'all just want to see me pissed off. But it was a solemn point that sobering to understand that and remind myself that what I set my mind to, I will accomplish. Doesn't matter what the hell it is. No matter what it takes me, what it costs me necessarily, I will see it through, and how strong one person's determination can be. And I got all kind of shit, accusations, negative energy thrown my way for jumping in the car and driving the fuck away. But none of it was actually a hindrance to where I was. Didn't hinder me. It didn't stop me. And that's what life a lot of times is. Like I was saying yesterday when I was driving, a lot of the roads that you walk in life, you will have to walk them alone. Because it's your road. It's your journey. And shout out to Charles Faulkner. Happy birthday again, since it was yesterday. But this is how you are the hero of your own journey. The hero of your own narrative. You have to be that person. You are. So I was on my hero's journey. My journey took me from Concord, California to what's it called? Forgot the city that it was. But to Guano Point, Arizona in a day. So when I add up how much time it took me, like 8 hours or so of driving, another 2 hours or so to get from Vegas to there, 10 hours, 11 hours. What is that to somebody who works 16 hours a day? Who will sit up for a good 18 hours in a day working for somebody else, doing other people's shit, fixing other people's mistakes, listening to other people's complaints about shit that they messed up themselves, fixing broken things for a very good fee. Don't complain about that. But to do it comparatively, what's the difference between doing that for 12 hours and jumping in the car and driving for 12 hours to get an experience that fills you in your soul, in your spirit? It's something that you did for you, that nobody can take away from you, and not many people could interfere with. How much is that worth to you? To have peace in yourself, to be confident, secure, comfortable, and appreciative of who you are, and give that gift to yourself. And acknowledge that for yourself, especially as a black man. You know how many black men I saw there? Probably 5 total. I was the only one, so everybody else is dragging kids or a wife or something. Right? But it was good for me. It felt good for me. And I tell you this, I just deleted the video that I was recording, but it felt bad when I was leaving. I felt the tug inside of me when I was leaving that I didn't want to leave. I did not want to leave that spot once I got there. And I felt it. It was a little mournful and a little sad that I had to leave. And I did a video on it when I was driving on the road away from the place. And that's exactly what I was feeling at that moment. So I feel kind of sad. Kind of sad that I'm leaving. That I can't see this again tomorrow. It is not regretting that I have, life to get back to. No, it's not that at all. It's just, it felt so good and emotionally fulfilling that I just wanted to fill myself up more with it. Right? It's like if you found a fountain of youth and you had a 2-liter bottle, would you fill the 2-liter bottle and guzzle it down? Or would you drink some of the water and then try to take the 2-liter bottle with you? Right? Because you'd want to take as much of it as you could just so you can remember what it was like. And that's what I did. I'll show y'all what I did. It was a picture. I'll probably put it up on Instagram later. But this is what I did that I didn't do the first time I was there. This is a piece of the rock from the point, from the summit. Now, spiritually, whatever energy is in that place, at that point, nature, whatever, what have you, is in this because it has been there a long goddamn time. I took this with me to have a piece of that with me. That's why. So I now have a piece of Guano Point with me. So it'll sound really weird, and BGS, me and BGS can talk about it later, kind of esoteric, but I do believe in certain spirits and energy, and everything has it. And at times I can feel it. I feel it in my pool stick when I know when I'm connected with it, because my energy is flowing through it. And so we operate as one. And not no crystal rubbing way, but I feel the energy in this. And for me, looking at it, it looks yellow. All right, the energy that comes off of it looks yellow. It is pure. It's not spoiled except by tennis shoes, possibly. Unless I got COVID, I can't smell anything. But it does have an energy that I feel. And it may dissipate. I don't know. It may dissipate because it's not getting recharged. Toya says, sounds like alignment. Yeah, it does sound like alignment, doesn't it, Toya? The other one I got was, you can't see these. Just dropped them. Some other little stones. Everything is falling on the goddamn floor. Some other little stones that were rubble from the summit, from bigger rocks that had fallen and broken up and got ground down. So I grabbed a couple of those too. You probably shouldn't, because if everybody grabs some of that shit, it's not there. After a certain amount of time, there's nothing left. But I'm a Californian, so when I see hills and mountains, usually they're covered with greenery, right? It's usually a lot of dirt. This is just stone. It's just stone with a little bit of dirt over it. So to see the rock breaking like this into really flat shapes and being there and understanding that this stuff is still moving. I took pictures of cracks and fissures in some of the big boulders there. That shit is going to fall over. That's why they still got signs out there like, beware of falling rocks. Yeah, you can walk up to shit, but beware. Some of these motherfuckers will still move. Right? It's all a process. It's all happening. Whether you care or not, it's still happening. And for me, that is marching orders for how you should live your life. Whether people care about it or not, you still need to go forward and do what you want to do and do what you need to do for you. Don't matter. Now, like, share, subscribe, support the stream if you feel so inclined. I'm going to tell you guys about 2 good deeds I did. And I'm not telling you about them to toot my own horn. I'm just acknowledging what I did for somebody else. The last good deed I did when I was leaving, I got lunch finally ate it too. And they had some good pulled pork, mashed potatoes and gravy, a good roll. I took a picture of it. That shit was delicious. It tasted so fucking good. So good. And I'm sitting there at the table on the point, and I'm eating my pulled pork, cut my roll in half, and I'm using it as a oh, you're welcome, D Remedy. I did that a little while ago. I like doing it as a surprise. Like you just showed like, nigga, I got a wrench. Holy shit, man. Just mean you're responsible for tuning people up if they get out of line now. Now you got responsibilities. You can't just show up and fuck off. But I'm sitting there eating my pulled pork, and this little chubby white kid had passed me, and his parents were bitching at him, and he was trying to walk over close to the edge because little is known that when you go to the Grand Canyon, there are no fences up over the edge. Nigga, no, there are no gates. There are no fences. You should just be smart enough to fucking know if you go past this point, it's a sheer drop. Don't do that. So it's open. So he's trying to go over there and look at the edge and whatnot. And the parents, dad is over there bitching at him across everybody, sitting in this eating area to not go to the edge and only go so far, right? And I heard it. It was mildly annoying, but I was into how good my food was tasting, appreciating that. And this fucking raven that came and landed by my table. And I've been trying to get a picture of these ravens flying around out there for like 20 minutes. The whole time I was up there, I was trying to get a picture of these ravens flying around because it just... It's one thing to feel the wind on your face and then see a raven up there just gliding on that shit and realize how high up you actually are. Because this motherfucker might be up there by your head, but then he goes 20 feet off this way and he over a fucking sheer drop, probably 300, 500 feet down. And you realize how high up you are. Like, God damn, this is amazing. It would be cool to fly. That's the superpower I want if I could have one. I just want to be able to fly. I don't need to read everybody's mind. I do that anyway. But anyway, they're mildly annoying, but I'm watching this raven that I've been watching, and he's just sitting there, and I'm getting pictures of him. And then the kid comes back over, and in front of me is the pay binocular thing, right? And he wants to use it, and he calls out to his father, like, can we do this? And his father tells him, no, I don't have any money. And I'm hearing this while I'm eating, and I'm looking at the kid. The kid is disappointed, and the kid looks like he's probably about 10, right? Maybe 10. And mind you, he was just annoying me not 3 minutes beforehand, right? And I look at the machine, and the machine says 50 cents. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Right? I'm really like, get the fuck out of here. You got all the way to Grand Canyon, and you ain't got 50 cents. Bullshit. Like, and I thought about it in a split second, right? I was like, I had a bunch of change in my pocket because when I bought my souvenirs and some other stuff, I paid with cash and they gave me change. So I had change in my pocket, and I'm sitting here thinking, running through my memory real quick. So how much do I got? I think I got about $2 in change. Went in my pocket, looked, and sure enough, I had about $2 in change and at least $1 or so in quarters. So I pulled $1 worth of quarters out, and the kid in this time has walked away. His dad's telling him to come on, and the kid's kind of bummed because he didn't get to do it. And I turned around, and I held out my hand with the change in it, and got the attention of the dad. He looked at me, and I pointed like to him, and he looks, and he's kind of surprised. He said, A nice man over there wants to give you some change. He wants to give you some money. And the kid walked over to me and I gave him the dollar. I gave him the dollar and change so he could use the binoculars, right? And it's just binoculars. Like if you've been to anywhere up high, it has the little binoculars. You put 50 cents in and you can look and, get a closer view of everything, right? And the father came over with the kid. When the kid came over, he's like, thank you. What's your name? Want to shake my hand and stuff like that. So, no, that's cool. I mean, my thing was, when are you going to be back? You're at the Grand Canyon. When are you coming back? Like, really, when are you coming back? You going to tell the kid fucking no? Like, yeah, we can come back some other time? You're not coming back. Grand Canyon is not that kind of trip where you just need to keep coming year after year after year unless you're just really into nature or shit. It doesn't change like that. Once you've seen it, you've seen it. It's not like Disneyland. They're not putting in a new ride or anything. But I told him, I was like, no, it's fine. He said, oh, it's only 50 cents. I said, well, the kid had an older brother, right? The older brother was probably 12, 13. So, yeah, no, that's 50 cents for both of them. They can both watch it. They can both use it. He's like, oh, thank you. Now, when he goes over to the binoculars, the damn thing is jammed. It's change jammed in the machine. It's like, oh, fuck, right? They're disappointed because the dial won't turn because there's change jammed in it. They're like, oh man, that's what's good. So they futz around with it for a while, and I'm looking like, what's wrong? What's actually wrong with it? Because I haven't stopped eating my pulled pork. I'm eating my pulled pork. I'm enjoying this shit. I'm making little sandwiches and everything. This shit was delicious. I'm serious. I should have got more of it. But once the kid moved out the way and the dad tried to help him get it out of there, and I'm listening to the conversation of what's going on, the dad, like I was telling you, white folks do, they talk out everything that's going on. So he's talking, oh, you need such and such to get that out of there. And once the kid moves, I can see what the problem is. I can see the machine. I can see what's jammed in there and how it's jammed in there. And I tell him, he said, oh, you need a knife to get it out. I said, I got one. And the father turns around shocked. Said, who are you, MacGyver? And I took that shit as a compliment because I always like MacGyver. Right? No, I'm just prepared for shit, right? So I pulled out my little Leatherman and pulled out the file and gave it to the kid. And the kid went to try to get the quarter out. And then the dad helped him get it out, and they got the quarter out. And now they could use the machine. It was working. They had given me back the dollar when the machine was broken. They thought wouldn't work. But once that other quarter came out, I gave him back the dollar and change. I was like, go ahead, right? The dad only took the other quarter. He only took one of the other quarters. So I got the 75 cents back. But he was still grateful, right? And the kids got to sit there and use the binoculars and look at the canyon through the binoculars and get some up-close views. Now, for me, it was nothing. It was nothing. It was absolutely nothing. It was $1 and change. You can give that to some homeless man on the street and never see it again. But what I got from it is I helped this kid have an experience that he will probably remember for the rest of his life. And it was important to understand, to be present in that moment and let that kid have that moment, because this is what shapes the adults that you want to deal with or the adults you don't want to deal with. Who they were as children, what they got to experience, positive or negative, from the world. And I told you guys, you've watched me do shows in the shop, and what I didn't like was people telling kids no about something that they brought them there to see. It's like they never think that what the kid wants is that damn important. It's always too expensive. But the parents spend a lot of money on a bunch of other shit. It has nothing to do with the kid. Now, talking to that guy a little bit that I did, they were from the East Coast. Father was out here in Vegas for some work. So they weren't coming back to the Grand Canyon. And even knowing that, the father still told him no about spending more money on a fucking view through binoculars. Nigga, are you kidding me? It's 4 of them. Husband, wife, son, 2 sons. I just told you it was $60 for general admission. Just for general admission. One person. The fuck do you think he just spent? And he spent that, but now he got a qualm about 50 cents? I just wanted the kid to have a good experience. Me personally, that was it. I didn't give a shit about his problems. I didn't know that situation until he actually tried to talk to me, because I'm more in the Lone Ranger kind of thing. I'll do a good deed and walk the fuck away. I don't need your praise. Yeah, you're welcome. But I did it because I wanted somebody else to have something good for them. And that's all it was. I wanted the kid to be able to have that experience and see that. And he did. So now think about it this way. Because I like to look at things as ripples that you make in a pond, right? The ripples of positivity you put out there into the world. When that kid goes back to school and talks about his trip to the Grand Canyon, what do you think will come up in his mind? Maybe my black ass, who was nice to him, who gave him money out of my pocket so he can do something his father wouldn't let him do. That this black man showed him some kindness and don't know him. That goes a lot further than talking about who's racist and who's not, who you need to excommunicate yourself from and who you don't. We all living on this ball of fucking dirt. And it's not just one color or the other one. Because I can tell you this, when I was sitting there eating my food, I heard a lot of different languages. Spanish, Russian, some kind of Farsi or some shit. There was even some Buddhists out there with their robes and stuff like that on. There was a lot of different people out there coming to the same place for the same reason. Because they wanted to see it. They wanted to experience it. And the one thing that nobody was sitting there at least saying or worrying the fuck about was who was black and who was white, who was racist and who wasn't. And for me, that's the way the world should be. That is the world I would prefer to live in. Because all the rest of that shit is ridiculous. It's a waste of goddamn time, energy, and effort to perpetuate and keep fucking harping on. Where you can end some of that shit by just not giving a fuck. Just not giving a fuck. I did something nice for a little white boy that I don't know. And could have probably been thinking, who the fuck is this nigga? Could have been thinking that. His father could have been thinking that. I don't give a shit. I don't care what they think. But because of me, that kid had a better experience and another memory he can carry for the rest of his life. He may forget my face and don't know my name, but he will remember the black dude who was nice to him. Now, that's just one thing I did. That was the thing I did today. The thing I did yesterday, and mind you, I'm not telling you all this like I'm patting myself on the back. I'm just sharing with you lessons I've learned from today and what I try to put out there into the world. I saw that all the time at festivals. Parents would walk around with $100 paintings they just bought and would buy a $3 ding tag from my table, and their kids wanted it. Yeah, they wouldn't buy a $3. Yeah, I see it all the time in the comic shop. It drives me fucking nuts. Why would you bring a kid into a comic shop and tell him he can't have a comic because $5 is too expensive? But you're walking around with a goddamn iPhone, Jordans, all this fly shit, and sucking on a $5 fucking Starbucks. Shut the hell up. Get the kid the goddamn comic. Fucking haters, dude. Shit bothers the hell out of me. And so I tell you, adults is fucked. Kids can be saved. Adults is fucked. You let that motherfucker grow up to be a piece of shit adult, you fucked up. They're ruined now. Nothing else to be done with them now. But you can save the kids. Because they just need some tutelage. They just need, not even tutelage, they just need some experiences that counter that narrative. That's all they need. That's all they need. Just experiences to counter that narrative. Because especially if you get them young enough, they will question everything else. They will question why it's that way, because that's what kids are good for. Questioning. Thinking and questioning. That's why most adults hate kids, because they ask so many goddamn questions that they don't have answers to. They don't want to have to think about this shit and have to give them an answer or tell them, I don't fucking know. They don't want to have to do that shit. And kids are good for exposing adults that don't know shit. So, first thing I did. Yesterday when I got to my hotel, I used the app, got my hotel, and once I confirmed the time I was showing up, they sent me a text to let me know that, oh, there was some additional charges, security deposit and some other shit when you get there. I was like, well, fuck you. I just paid all this money for this goddamn room. You didn't put that in the information that was there. You didn't say shit about a security deposit. Y'all just on a grift. And I'm already irritated because the car company did the same shit. Right? Because they had a rental car. So they did the same shit. Tying up some of my fucking money, which I don't like. Right? I thought I was about to ball out and they fucked me over with holding money and shit. I'm like, nigga, I just paid for all of this shit already. You don't need to be holding a goddamn thing. But be that as it may, I'm not going to let that spoil my time. So I get here, I'm checking in, and when I'm checking in, another brother is behind me coming to check in. And while I'm thinking about this, okay, this extra fucking $100 security deposit on top of what I already paid for this goddamn room, and I'm doing my check-in stuff, he's at the desk talking to the dude, the concierge or whatever, about checking in, and they won't take his card. And what kind of card is he using? Cash App card. Now, he booked through the same thing I did. We were using Booking.com, and I don't have any smoke for Booking.com. I like Booking.com. They've been good every time I've used them, right? He reserved his room just like I did from Booking.com, but he also did not see anything in there that said anything about a $100 security deposit when you show up. For what? Because if I cancel, you charge me for one night anyway. So I show up, I want my room, and you want a security deposit on top of already paying for the room? Why? Right? So he's kind of strapped because he's like, okay, well, you don't want to take my Cash App card, I'll give you cash. They don't accept cash. And this is weird as fuck to me for the simple fact that this is a hotel. He already has a reservation. You've seen it on the computer. You don't want to use the card that he has because the concierge is position, which is probably the company's position, is that Cash App does not have a brick and mortar bank, so they don't want to take it. It doesn't matter if it says MasterCard or Visa on it. They don't want to take it because it doesn't have a brick and mortar bank, which I think is stupid because Cash App is direct. It's more direct than a fucking credit card. Because whatever you run on that bitch, it's there, it's gone, it's in your account. Done deal. It's over. It's not like you're running it and hoping like a credit card. You're hoping in 30 days the motherfucker pays you that money or it just cleared. No. If that's what's there, if that's what you charge and that goes through, you automatically just got that money. But they don't want to take that. And then on top of that, even though the concierge, his register and stuff, and behind him is shelf full of liquor for the bar, they don't take cash. I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm within earshot listening to this, and I'm like, huh? The dude got a wad of money in his hand, but he can't give him $100 for this damn room. He needs another card. I'm like, that sounds like some bullshit. Like, what the fuck? He got money right there. You won't take the card that he already paid for the room with. You won't take that. Then you won't take the cash he has in hand in your face. What kind of sense does that make? That doesn't make any sense to me. Now I'm hearing this, right? I already had my reservations about doing this shit, but I'm like, I got it, so fuck it. I just went ahead and did it, right? But the brother is there because I'm hearing the conversation. The brother's having an issue with this shit, right? He's only gonna be there for a night. He doesn't have another card he can use. He just showed up for a room he's already paid for. So he's going over with it like, okay, so if you cancel the room, am I getting my money back? And I'm knowing he's not getting his money back. He'll get part of it, but he ain't getting all of it back. I'm like, so they just got him for his money regardless. So I walked back over there to finish my check-in process because outside of checking in with the concierge, now I got to go over to the damn kiosk and finish checking in and scanning my ID and paying my security deposit and shit to come back over to the concierge and get my keys and parking pass and shit. And I'm like, this is a fucking stupid process. And I'm standing there listening to this shit, and the dude is about to lose it. He kind of irritated. And when I heard what he had his Cash App card, and he had his other card that he didn't want to use, which was his military card. He didn't want to use that. Now, mind you, Las Vegas is a military town. Nellis Air Force Base is right there in Las Vegas, right? I'm like, this sounds absolutely fucking ridiculous. So I told the brother, I said, hey, I'll tell you what. I asked the concierge, he just needs a security deposit, right? He said, yes, you get the security deposit back the next day, no damages to the room, you get the security deposit back the next day. I said, okay, I'll take care of his security deposit for him. He's like, what? I said, yeah, give me $100. I'll use my card for your security deposit. Just don't fuck up the room. We good. We good. I'll give you back your $100 in the morning. When are you leaving? I'm leaving tomorrow. I'm here. I'm leaving Monday. I'll leave it at the front desk for you. Right? He said, oh man, that's cool. I was like, what's your name? I'm like, fuck, Antonio, dude. He said, yeah, Eric, man, I'm from LA. I'm from the Bay Area. I said, I just went through sort of the same thing. So I feel your pain. But look, it doesn't make any goddamn sense in the world to me that you paid for your room. You're here. You have money and the card you paid for the room with. And they ain't going to give you the room because they don't want you to use the card you have on hand for a security deposit. It was good enough to take the money for the room. It should be good enough for a security deposit. Doesn't make any fucking sense to me. But I'll help you out. Just call it a good deed, right? He said, okay. He went outside, talked it over with whoever was outside. And after about 20, 30 minutes of dealing with this shit, comes back in and he got his girl with him. And they're going back and forth. And this is a black chick, black dude, black chick. And she, oh, I told you just did this. She doing all that neck rolling bullshit that I don't fucking hear. I'm just standing there laughing at their asses because she talking shit to him. And I'm listening to it. I'm like, fucking hell, fuck this bitch. Like, you should have did it to me. I told you could have just sent the money to me and did such and such. Like, no, I got it. Because I believe in the fact that, look, somebody told me this a long time ago. Dudes with money problems shouldn't rely on other dudes. Do not rely on women. It always works against you. It always works against you. If you're dealing with men with that shit, you can actually work with men. Because the dude is not looking for sex from your ass on the payback. They're not thinking they're going to cut you off from fucking if they feel like it. Because you owe me some money. You ain't shit, nigga. They're not going to do that. Dude is just gonna be like, nigga, you need to pay me this money. Or what? Or you could get fucked up. That's just what it's gonna be. So they got through yapping at the thing. I put my card in there. And she don't understand what's happening because she got to get involved in the mix. They're like, no, it's not that. This is my part to do. Put my card down there. Bam. 100 for the security deposit, and I'm out. Y'all have a good night. Have a good time. And the dude is laughing like, shit, you got to pay the security deposit. You're only going to be in that room for about 2 hours. Your business. Just don't fuck it up. Y'all have a good night. That was it. And I was out. That was the first thing that I did when I got here. I didn't have to do that, but I felt like helping the brother out. And it was a young black brother. He was probably, maybe he was 26. Maybe he was 26, 27, maybe at the most. Just helping him out because what he was going through at the counter was bullshit. It was just bullshit. And it was bullshit when I was thinking of it when I got there about the shit. It was bullshit to me. But see, I didn't have somebody there to say, hey, I'll cover that security deposit for me. I just went ahead and covered and figured, okay, that's $100 I will not be gambling with. I won't be eating. I won't go to the gun range and let off this AR. Okay, that's what I sacrificed for the shit. Right? But I did help him out because it's already like 8. Getting to be 10 o'clock, this nigga gonna need to sleep. He ain't about to find another hotel room right now. He's not. He's not getting his money back for this one. I'm like, that's bullshit. No, man. Get your room and sleep. I'm not worried about the security deposit. Like, you just can't smoke in there. I know you probably smoke weed. Just don't smoke in there. What they gonna do? Charge you $100 for cleaning it? Fuck it, it's $100, right? Now, it's probably not the smartest thing to do, but a lot of times I can act on instinct and I act, impulsively. And my impulse was to help. And that's usually what my default setting is. I just want to help people. I want to make things better and help people out, primarily. And I don't know that dude. I only remember his name. I think he said his name was Eric, just because he shook my hand and thanked me. That was all I needed. He didn't need to kiss my ass. He didn't need to follow me around and buy me a drink. He said, thank you. That was it. Just don't fuck up the room and we'll be all good. Be all good. That was last night. Today was this kid. When I was here at this hotel, I figured out a new business model that would actually work with like just hotel maintenance. It's a business idea. You just come in and you do maintenance on every room in the hotel while the hotel is open. You don't have to shut it down. You just come in and fix the shit that's wrong in the hotel. Because I walked in and I just saw stuff that was wrong in my carpenter brain. I got the carpentry and the maintenance side now. I'm like, this whole thing, I can fix this whole shit. Look, this is how bad it is. And I see BGS is in here, so he'll get a laugh out of this shit. I came into this room. I went to the bathroom. I liked the shower, but sat down to do my business because I was on the road for a while. And what did I see? The caulking on the baseboard is cracked. It needs to be recaulked, right? So you need to fix that shit. But also, the ceiling fan or the vent fan in the bathroom is loud as shit. Loud as shit. And I know exactly what's wrong with it. It's dirty. So I pulled the grill off of it. I'm like, yep, I fucking knew it. I'm fighting the urge, dude. I'm serious. I was fighting the urge last night to pull that fucking motor out and clean it and put it back in there because it was fucking with me. I didn't even want to go in the bathroom to turn that shit on because it's hooked to the light. So if I turn the light on, the fan is running. They don't have separate switches. I'm like, shit. I had to unplug that shit to take a shower. I did. Because it would have drove me crazy standing in the shower listening to that motherfucker buzzing loud as it was. And I almost pulled it out. I got one screw out. I was like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm on vacation. Look, they just need to fix that shit. Fuck it. I just left it unplugged and went to bed. I started unplugged, so I had to think about the shit. But I wanted to clean it so bad. If I would have had something, I knew what I would have used to clean it. You usually need a vacuum, but all I had was my my Leatherman with my little Phillips head on there, and because the screws are going in the metal, it would have been a bitch to put it back in there if I pulled those screws out. They're self-tapping screws, but it would have been a pain in the ass to put it back in there. You would have needed some force, and I didn't want to pull it out and then not be able to get the goddamn thing screwed back in there right because they had jerry-rigged it in there. I'm like, they need to clean this motherfucker. They just need to clean it. My OCD was killing me, dude. That's why I had to unplug it. I just had to unplug it. It was bothering me. It was bothering the shit out of me. But that's who I am. That's who the fuck I am. I'm a fixer. I'm a fixer. This is what I do. This is who I am. Right? So, yeah, I was fighting that OCD hard, Malika. I was fighting that shit hard. I really did. Like pulled the grill off halfway, pull one of the screws. I said, what the fuck am I doing? This is not my job. Nobody's paying me for this. Nobody paying me for this shit. And the other side of my brain is, yeah, but if you tell them, this could be a whole business. Nigga. You could just tell them, look, if you pay me this a week, I'll come in here and, repair everything in this because I don't think y'all got to make this to you. Business opportunity, the older hotel. Like, could be $1 million business. I just threw away for nothing. You like me when I'm in a comic shop or bookstore, I keep fixing and arranging out of place books and stuff. Yeah, JT, I do the same shit. That's why I walk into other people's comic shops. What I do, I'm perusing the shit to see if it's correct. But it was already bad just being a carpenter. Now that I'm doing the other part, the maintaining part too, it's worse. See, this is one of the things I learned in psychology. OCD in and of itself is not a bad thing. It's just being organized. The problem is if you cannot turn that shit off. You can't hold on that tightly. You'll break something in your fucking head. Okay? It was bothering me because I knew I could fix it. I fucking knew I could fix it. I know I can fix it. That's what bothers me. It's not the fact that it's broken. It's the fact that it's broken and I know I have the ability and the skills to fix it. And I'm fighting the urge to fix what is wrong. That's what bothers me. That's where the OCD comes in. It's not there because it's just broken, because I could deal with it if it was broken. If I know how to fix it, I would just deal with it. But I do know how to fix it. It is well within my wheelhouse. That's what the OCD part is. I am not the type of person who can stand around and do nothing if I know I can do something. I'm not that kind of person. He said, episode of the Big Bang Theory. That's a big misconception. Those are nerds. Those are not geeks. Those are nerds. Every one of them motherfuckers got, except, I guess, what's her name? Kelly Kukoch's character, Penny. They all have PhDs. Those are fucking nerds. Not geeks. They do some geeky shit. There is some overlap between a nerd and a geek. The dude at the comic shop was a geek. The people that came in there, Sheldon was a nerd. The Hardison's OCD there. There you go, Malika. There's my word. There's my wordsmith. There's my wordsmith right there. You're getting old, man. I know. I'm getting better. Howard only has a master. Yeah, I'm a master. So that's what it is. I know I can. If I know I can do it, it's hard for me not to act. That's what it is. It's hard for me not to act if I know I can do it. If I can do something to help the situation, it's very hard for me not to act and do something about it. It just is. I don't have that, spectator gene, where I see something wrong and I'm just going to stand there and watch it and see who fixes it. I'm the motherfucker that actually goes in and fixes it. That I will just go ahead and fix it. Plain and simple. It's just who I am. And this world, this society, you get punished. You can get punished for that shit. You can. You can. It's no different than you hear about stories about some scumbag ass dude was beating the shit out of his chick out in public, and some guy, not a captain, but some guy steps in like, "Hey man, cut that shit out," and then he ends up getting killed. That's what that is. You understand that is it's not simp behavior, it's the heroic gene. It's called courage. Courage in the face of things being wrong, that you're not looking for a crowd around you to prompt you to do something. You just do what needs to be done. That is what heroes are made of. But you could be a fool too. That's the downside of it. Yeah, we all have our OCD moments. Some people just can't deal with certain shit. Like JT's making a joke about it, but JT, you see me do it in the comic shop before because I recognize my own. There were people in the comic shop that they have a tail. They have a fucking tail. And like in the shop, there would always be some type of advertisements. Like, say this shit right here, right? Bunch of drink tickets, right? Stack of drink tickets. I put that, we'd have stuff like that, advertisements and whatnot sitting on the counter by the register. And occasionally they would get kind of shuffled. The person who came to the counter to pay for the comics or talk or whatever, and they start readjusting that shit, that was a tell that they had a little bit of OCD. So you know what I would do when I saw that shit, especially if I knew them and just wanted to mess with them a little bit? Because I mess with people I know. It's just what it is. I would shift it next, mess it up again. I would. I'd do it on purpose in front of them. And they would smile because I know it bothers them. They know it bothers them. They recognize that I know what it is. I said, I know what's wrong with you. It's okay. It's okay. Leave it that way. It's fine. You can't make the whole world right. You set this right, it'll make something else out of whack in the rest of the world. So learn to accept a little bit of chaos because you can't hold on that tight. You can have your OCD, but you got to manage it. You cannot try to set everything in the world right. I did one thing last week on a gate, a wooden gate, 2-door wooden gate. I fixed one door, but not only did I fix the door, I rebuilt it correctly. And then went back and put it back in the spot with the other door. You know what happened? Had to go back and fix the other door and the rest of the fence. Because I put that door the correct way, it didn't work with the rest of that shit that was done incorrectly. It caused me 2 more days of working on that fucking gate, of having to try to get back there to finish that gate, just for setting one thing correct. Some things you have to find the natural balance of it and leave it that way so it can all work together. There is no perfect solution. I did what was correct, but it was not correct for the rest of that situation. And because I made one thing correct, I had to make everything else correct as well. Or else what I did would not work. It wouldn't work with what I did. So I made more work for myself. I made more stress on myself. That was more working in the rain and whatnot. While my nose is stuffy now, I'm paying a price for that shit. Because I spent more time outside getting wet, fixing a fucking fence when all I had to do was do some half-ass work that most of these other dudes would have did. And I wouldn't have a stuffy nose. And it wouldn't have took me another 2 days to finish that shit. Just who I am, man. I pay for the shit. That also a dangerous flaw. I told you, even in the division, just because you can save them, you got to learn to let nature take its course. Exactly. BMT, that's exactly what it is. And you see in division, sometimes I help, like the hostage situation. Sometimes I help the hostages. And sometimes I run right past their ass, like I didn't see them. This is a rig up. There's a more important thing than trying to set every situation right. Can't do it. Some things you have to let go. You can't hold on that tightly. And I learned that from figuring out I was holding on too tightly to some shit. And it was making everybody else crazy, including myself. So I had to learn how to let certain shit go. Let it be chaotic. A certain amount of chaos is normal. A certain amount is normal. And you need to let it be chaotic. Keep your little boundaries, but a certain amount of it has to be chaotic. You can't set everything not chaotic. You're not going to make everybody love you and nobody dislike you. Somebody got to dislike your ass. Somebody has to. Otherwise, you have no reason to try to be better at anything. You have no reason to push. You got to get denied by some bitch. So you can get the strength in yourself to know it doesn't matter what a bitch say. You get on your purpose, she'll be looking for you. Or you get on your purpose, and when you get to your destination, there'll be chicks there already. That's how it works. Get to the finish line. I bet you see a bunch of chicks there. Bet you see a bunch of them there. And they all want a picture with you. Chase your goals, not chicks. So, these are some of my thoughts that I've learned for this 2 days, in the last 2 days, that have been personally edifying for me. But having this little tete-a-tete with you guys and sharing some of that with you is part of it. It's part of it. Because I could have talked about some of this other bullshit. Andrew Tate coming out, Pearl, Manosphere, Civil War. I don't want to talk about that shit. I really don't. It is so, what's the word, BGS? Low vibration right now. It's ridiculous. It is such a low vibration right now. It's fucking ridiculous. I don't want to give it any more energy. It is like BMT was just saying. It's some shit we need to run by. Let the flow be what the flow is, and keep running on to my objective. Shout out to Aaron Peters dropping the dub in here. He said a geek tag. Glad you found a little piece, bro. I'm glad I found a little piece too. Everybody deserved a little bit, and I gave it to myself. Nobody had to give it to me. I gave it to myself. Like I told you, like the Merovingian said, if you never take time, how can you ever have time? You have to take the time. So shout out to the Merovingian and Ferris Bueller, one of my favorite quotes. If you don't stop and look around sometime, life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around sometime, you can miss it. I didn't want to miss it today. I was present. So appreciate you, Aaron Peters, for supporting the stream. I will give you the guts and butts. Appreciate you.
Double up, 3 or 4 times. I ain't telling no lie. Run it up. Never let a hard time on the rush.
Shit. I didn't even talk about the goal or anything today, did I? AP with the Tortal. I know, since I'm on it right now, I know Aquatechie and No One donated earlier when I was in the car trying to stream. I saw it come across, so let me give y'all your salutes. Appreciate you, Aquatechie, for always being faithful, being one of those elite that always support the stream. Appreciate you, And to No One, appreciate you for donating to the stream. I will give you that 3B salute. Appreciate you. And of course, you know No One is an elite because he is one of the few who always doubles up. So, as he would always say, Maestro, please. Know what? I will give you the guts and butts. Appreciate you.
Number one, 3 or 4 times, I ain't telling no lie. Run it up. Never let a hard time on the ones.
And I wonder if BGS is still in here. Y'all can see something funny because I didn't get a chance to finish it, but I was doing it on the bus. I was working on it on the bus going out to Guano Point. I want to show this to y'all because I think it's funny as fuck. I think it's funny. It's not finished yet, but it is funny as hell to me. Let's see. It's spoiling it because I did want to surprise BGS with it, but I never know when he's going to ninja in or not. So if he smoke bombed in, I gotta show it to him now because I don't know when he'll smoke bomb in again. He might sit on the clouds. Okay, let's do that. All right. Let's see. Jesus Christ. Okay, that kind of works there. Okay, so this is for BGS.
Darkest of night with the moon shining bright. There's a set going strong, a lot of things going on. The man of the hour has an air of great power. The dudes have envied him for so long. Oh, super fly. You're gonna make your fortune by. But if you lose, don't ask no questions.
Just like a woman.
That is my BGS intro. I have to fix the last part because it's not, the timing is off. But that's my BGS intro. So if he wasn't in here, y'all don't tell him shit. If he wasn't in here to see it, y'all don't say nothing. So he'll be surprised when he actually does see it. But otherwise, that's my intro for BGS. I'm just about finished with that. I just have to fix that ending part, get that Skeletor right, and it'll be good. I found that on my phone. I told you I had a lot of stuff on my phone, a backlog of stuff on my phone, because the memory, I ran out of memory on the phone. And then some other technical shit had happened where it wiped some files. And so I had to start them over again. It's stupid. But I found that on there, and it was just an intro. So it's a long intro. It's like a minute. When your intro should be like 15 seconds and 30 seconds. But look, I play by my rules. I like a good intro. So I thought that'd be funny if it came up. So I am at an hour 43. Now a song selection from Sexual Chocolate. Yes. What a collection plate. I'm just tired of losing a lot of friends to selfless deeds. It gets get hurt. Yeah, selfless deeds do get you hurt. But depends on what you're doing it for. It's selfless, so you're not thinking about yourself at the time. I would say part of the modern problem nowadays is most people are only thinking about themselves, which you have to think about yourself you have to solely think about yourself to an extent, but you have to know where that line is. Most people don't. They don't. It's them over everybody else. So that ends up in a lot of problems when you realize that and I came to this in this space, actually. I think it came from a conversation that BGS had on the Coliseum, was that the idea that nobody is actually independent. There is no true independence in this country, in this world. Everybody is interdependent, but not independent. Because the more independent you say you are, the more you realize that you don't make your own money. You don't secure your own borders. You don't ship your own food to you. You don't educate your own children. You don't repair your own car. You don't build your own car. Everybody is interdependent. And so since everybody is interdependent and not independent, which means you don't need anybody else at all, you need to learn how to work with people. Plain and simple. People you agree with, and more importantly, people you don't agree with. You have to learn how to do business with people you don't agree with. Because it's going to be a lot more of them in the world than people we agree with. That's just how it works. Everybody is not your little personal tribe. Everybody is not part of your personal tribe. So you will always have to make alliances, treaties, or just, rules of engagement for people who are not. So you can actually get shit done. So you can both, or all of you, individually succeed from your shared and common interests, and not constantly be working against each other to none of you actually succeeding in shit. Sound like a PMD under me. Should have saved that shit for that. So what's the last part I'll say on this, and then maybe I'll get out of here. Unless y'all want me to open it up. I wasn't looking at the numbers for anything, but if you want me to open it up, just say it in the chat and I'll drop the link if anybody wants to come up. But if not, I'll finish this last part out. And then I'll close it out at 2 hours and make it easy to edit. So the title of this is Raven Skies. Why is it called Raven Skies? One of the things that happened while I was sitting there at the point and just listening to the wind and stuff like that is I was sitting there and I'm just watching everything happening, right? And they're doing helicopter tours and whatnot through the canyon, right? So where I'm sitting, I can see the helicopter dropping in to the canyon, flying through the canyon around me, and going off through the canyon. I can see helicopters coming in from in front of me, dropping into the canyon and flying through the canyon as well. But the other thing I saw, like I told you, was this raven. And he's just flying around the point. And there was a few of them. It was like 3 or 4 of them, right? And I keep trying to get a good picture of this raven just flying all over the place. And nobody's paying attention to these motherfuckers. I mean, they big. They are fucking big. I'm like, are those crows? Like, I don't think they're crows this far out. But nobody's thinking it's weird that these birds are out here this far out. This far out away from everything. It's just these fucking black-ass ravens here. So they're flying over, and I keep trying to get pictures of them. They land and stuff like that, but can't really get a close picture of them. I got one video of one flying, but I was really working with the zooming in, zooming out, trying to keep him in frame to see where he's going and stuff like that. And it was hard, right? But I really admired the way that they were flying and how quiet and majestic it did look. Now, when I went to eat my food and I sat down, that raven, I don't know if it's the same one, I'm just saying, one of those ravens came and sat down in front of me. He landed in front of me. And I took pictures of him just sitting there. He's calm as shit. And I'm like, damn, they are used to people. They are really used to people. The motherfucker's just there. He's not necessarily begging for food. He's just there. Appreciate your Rainfire design. I see I got a PayPal. Appreciate your Rainfire. I will give you the guts and butts.
Number 1, 3 or 4 times, I ain't telling no lies. Run it up. Never let a hard time on the ones.
outside of the game. So the Raven is just sitting there, right? He's sitting there watching me and I'm watching him. And I start taking video of him, right? Because I think it's cool. I like birds and shit like that, right? I like nature. So it's just what it is, right? I don't have no smoke for animals. As long as they don't fuck with me, we good, right? And I got a bunch of really cool pictures because where this Raven is sitting, where I'm sitting is under an awning, right? And this Raven just came and sat right there, right? Well, that was the binoculars, right? And then I got pictures like this of the Raven that he almost looked like a silhouette. And he was just sitting there posing. So I'm like, is this motherfucker posing for me? So I just kept snapping pictures. He didn't move. He turned his head a little bit, but he was given a perfect silhouette. And I zoomed in and I just kept taking pictures of him. Right? Perfect silhouettes. And I thought it was kind of a magical thing. Now he flew away after because that's when a kid came up and wanted to use the binoculars. But when he bounced around me and went off to the other side and I turned around and looked, there was another one sitting behind me. This is the one that was sitting behind me. And I looked him right in his eye. It was two of them. It was him sitting there on the ground right behind me. And there was this other one up there sitting on the table. So I'm like, oh, you motherfuckers just want to eat, huh? Right? You got one man, distracted me. Y'all right there behind my back the whole time. Now, they wasn't fucking with me. But I thought it, a really magical thing. Now, the interesting part was when I'm going to leave and get back on the bus to go back to the parking lot and stuff like that, these ravens kept following me. I kept seeing these ravens. Kept seeing them. Like, literally, when I was up, dumped my food off and stuff, and I'm walking the path to go back to the bus, these two ravens swooped in, landed, and then they're hopping along the trail next to me. I'm like, okay, weird. All right. Go get on the bus. Standing room only on the bus because it's so crowded. So I'm standing up next to the driver. We're driving. Drive off. Here comes this raven flying in front of the bus. All right. Like, okay. Okay. Go a little further. Sitting on the side of the road looking at the bus too. I'm like, where the fuck did all these come from? They weren't here when we showed up. There was only about 3 of them over there at the point. Now I just keep seeing them. And I kept seeing them all the way when I went out of there. I kept seeing ravens on the side of the road or something, looking in my direction, which I thought was weird. Spiritually weird or just interesting. So that's what made me think the last video I took leaving there was like, yeah, Raven Skies. Because that was peace to me. Seeing that raven there, flying around there and just riding the wind or dipping down in it and circling around, that freedom, that's what it was. It was peace. It was freedom. So that's where the title comes from. That's what the Raven Skies are. Because that raven in the sky was peaceful. It was just chilling. Twins on the Guts and Butts remind me that I almost went to micro wrestling last week, but I didn't want to go to hell with gasoline draws on. Rainfire, you and Artie Edmore. Artie Edmore loved them little twins. The little twin, little people. Yeah, he loved them motherfuckers. Charles is the one who named that the Guts and Butts. Shout out to Faulkness. He's the one who named it the Guts and Butts. That's why I call it that, because he named it. The Bedrock Booty Bounce, the 3B Salute, Malika named that one. I didn't name it. He did. That was something he called it. So I just call it the 3B Salute. But he called it the Bedrock Booty Bounce. 3B Salute. Like y'all know, y'all got a place over here, man. This is organic. Y'all feed into this shit. Y'all feed this. What up? Detroit 0861. Oh, Detroit, not Detroit. Detroit. Clever girl. Yes. Yes. So that's it. Since nobody said they wanted to come up, I don't know if this is anything you guys actually want to talk about. You just listen to me talk about it. But what time is it? I don't even know what time it is. I've jumped time zones today. I went from Pacific to Central to back to Pacific to back to Central to back to Pacific. So it's about 10 o'clock. I do need to get some sleep because I got a long drive tomorrow, and I'm waking up early to start it because I want to get back way before 4 o'clock. Maybe there won't be so much traffic. But yeah, that was my time here. Didn't get to go gamble. Well, I went out for a little bit yesterday. Some fucking shit machines, nickels and pennies and stuff. But basically, I went and got some Thai food. But I didn't get to see any of the strip sites because I wasn't here for the strip. I was here for the canyon. So didn't do that. But I don't consider the trip a waste. I did exactly what my objective was. I succeeded and achieved said objective. And I'm content with that. And I will leave Vegas again and go home and be content with that as well. I will miss being out there at the point, but I know where it is and I know how to get there. I know how to get back there. So I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. So if I need to, I'll go there again. But maybe next time, I'll go north. There's some parts of Oregon I have not explored, and I think that'll be the next place. Next time I'll go north into Oregon. Because my daughter knows some spots that I have only seen through pictures, and it's more fun to me to go to the spot that's in the picture and put my feet in that dirt and my hands in it. So I can say I've been there. And I just don't know it just from observation, but experience. So that's it. I am going to go ahead and get out of here, get showered, get rested, get fed. And I appreciate you guys coming back. And apologies for the screwed up streams earlier today. The ones that work will stay up. The ones that do not work, I will delete those motherfuckers as hard as it is. Because I don't like crappy stuff being out there with my name attached to it. Thanks for coming through on the late one. It was pretty late. I think we got up to, what was it? I think 23, 24 people. That's good for a late nighter. I know the Secret Invasion trailer came out. I'll probably shut this down, do a reaction, throw it up tomorrow. And I still gotta watch the fucking Bad Batch. I'll watch that when I get back home. I'm not sullying my fucking peace with watching the Bad Batch, finale or not. I don't give a fuck. I was done with that show. But I will get that put up onto the stream. So it's out there. We can finish that off. I am a completionist. But thank you guys for coming through on this late one. Thank you for everyone who donated. I didn't see everybody because the phone was acting up, so I can't see it on the Cash App side. I don't know if we made the goal or not. Doesn't matter. I appreciate you guys coming through right now and listening to my spiritual ramblings. But I needed this. I've been working hard, a lot of hours for a lot of weeks and months, and I deserved a break, at least for a couple of days. So, thank you guys for coming through, and let me get this queued up. Let me get this queued up right. Because I am looking forward to going back home. But, you know, I'll see you guys next time. Peace. I fucked it up. Fucked up the outro. I'll see you guys next time. Peace. You mean to tell me I did this whole show without my brand up? God dang. Getting old sucks.
When the lights go down in the city and the sun shines on the bay, do I wanna be there in my city? Oh, 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 oh. So you think you're lonely? Well, my friend, I'm lonely too. I wanna get back to my city by the bay. Oh, it's sad. Oh, there's been mornings out on the road without you, without your charms. Oh, na 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 na. When the lights go down in the city and the sun shines on the bay, ooh, I wanna be there in my city. Oh, 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 oh. When the lights go down in the city and the sun shines on